In 1962, off the coast of Alaska, the United States detonated a nuclear bomb. But this wasn't a weapon. It was a question for time.
On Johnston Island, missile preparation for the July launch of the Starfish Prime shot was one aspect of an extensive team effort. Close to the Thor launch area were a number of tracking stations, including the Pacific Missile Range ship, the USNS Range Tracker, all set up to keep an electronic eye on the missile and its warhead after launch. The bulk of the activity associated with Starfish Prime was the array of scientific instrumentation organized by AEC and DoD laboratories. Installations were crowded on Johnston Island itself, at sea, in the air, and at stations established throughout the entire Pacific area to measure the widespread detonation phenomena from the 1.45 megaton weapon set to burst 400 kilometers high.
They called it Project Starfish. Officially, it was a high-altitude test of nuclear response capability. Unofficially, it was something stranger. In a low-lit lab in Anchorage, scientists gathered clocks, reels, volunteers. They weren't measuring power. They were measuring displacement. The target, Zone 52, near the Aleutian Trench. They chose it for its silence, its distance, its emptiness. On July 17, 1962, a warhead rose by parachute and vanished into cloud. Light split the sky. Time held its breath. Inside the bunker, clocks twitched. Needles spun like compass dials in a storm, and one by one, the men inside said the same thing. We lost something. A reel began recording, but the voice on it didn't match the room.
T+17, anomaly confirmed.
Logs showed gaps. Pages disappeared. Pens moved without hands. One man blinked, and his coffee had gone cold. When the test ended, they checked their watches. 46 hours had passed. No one remembered them. The tapes were warped. The footage useless. One showed a hallway no one had ever built. Another showed men blinking in reverse. A technician wrote,
"Lunch was breakfast."
Then he tore the page out and burned it. Diaries from that week came back blank. Calendars froze on Tuesday. Some families said their sons came home older than they left. No one believed them. Years later, the recording still played, but only at night, only during snowstorms. Always the same voice, T minus, T minus, T minus. In 1996, a ham radio operator in Montana picked up the signal again. He listened for 8 hours, then disappeared. Old machines still hum, still twitch. If you look close, the static spells numbers. Sometimes, dates that haven't happened yet. A formula was found, half finished. It ended with a question mark, not a solution, a warning. Project Starfish was buried, sealed in metal folders, stored behind red tape and silence. The official verdict, a misfire. But something remains, in the ice, in the wires, in the air. A scar where time was asked to bend and almost said yes. Time does not forgive. It only forgets, unless you remind it. Time waits for no one, even when we rewind it.